Hi, this is Blake LeVine, the CEO of the Startup Stocks. I want to thank you so much for getting your VIP free ticket to be part of the learning today. What I'm going to focus on today is 5 very important top tips. I have a 100-point system that is so vital for understanding stocks and the psychology. Now, my name is Blake LeVine, and I've traded since I'm 18. What I really want to teach you about is the psychology that you don't get in typical learning. So many go into stock trading doing options and small cap, but they don't really realize the risk. And the 100-point system I developed teaches about how the risk is so vital and so important. And the thing that's incredible, I'll share my own journey, is my wife has been a salaried worker for many years, and that helped us get by. And she lost her job for a time that there was no nursing jobs and she's a physician assistant, but trading, even a tiny amount of money, allowed us to make enough to do so much to pay our expenses and our rent. And I say that to you. Maybe you want to learn trading. Maybe you have a large amount of money. And out of it, you want to do 1 or 2% or 5% into trading. Maybe you had another business. Maybe you had a shop or a store or a restaurant or an entrepreneur, whatever it is. Learning to have your own capital and doing trading can be an asset. I'll tell you, this year it's been a little challenging with the Fed raising interest rates, but I have an experience where I made 19 times your money. So what's incredible about that, if you put $1 million, that's $19 million. If you put 100,000, that's 1.9 million. Even 10,000 becomes 190,000. So that's the reason my 100-point system is really important. And learning about first the risk. So I would say the first tip is to share with yourself from 18 to 118, maybe you're older, to say to yourself that there is real risk. I look at every day, there are great returns, but there's also many that fail. So when you say to yourself, it has the chance, if I were to put in $100, I could lose the $100. But here's the key tip. If you took, let's say, a small amount, or let's say you had a lot of money, 100,000, you did $500 or $1,000, you could get to a 19 times possible profit here and there. And there are times that that's the only way you could ever get 19 times. For example, when my wife had that job issue, that was the only thing I could see in the whole world to make 19 times my money. Even this year, things were struggling, and the 19 times came in at the right time. So having the ability to learn to trade can be a gift. And I think if people are paying for education, I'm watching, my daughter loves TikTok. I wrote the book TikTok Therapy. There's tons of colleges, girls at sororities and men, and they're back in school. But I think about how much those educations cost. If you went to Harvard for 4 years, or you went to Yale, you went to community college, that's thousands and thousands of dollars. Even if you don't pay, that's debt. So learning to trade can help you and be an asset. And that's why my 100-point system, and I do teach people over a week how to really get the knowledge. So first it is to assess that there's risk and know that it's a real risk. So if you put in whatever amount in a trade, it could lose, but it could also at times be making money by understanding that risk and saying, hey, if I'm doing it, maybe I have to do 5 or 10 times to get a 19 times. Or even if I'm going to do typically 6, because I do see 5 and 6 times money quite regularly. In fact, every day I usually see that. So many trades, let's say in the stock options, can be 100%. And some can be up to 600, that's typical. And then occasionally you can get 19 times. So that's one of the only things I've ever seen that can do 19 times your money, and in a short time. It could be a day. That's one of the things I do. I do days or weeks or even months. You can do something quite interesting, which is tip 2. So let's say you like a company, whatever it is, could be a tech company, it could even be a conservative company. You can do leaps. So today is now the summer in 2024, and it's August. You could do for September. You could do for October. Even Black Friday, November, you could buy that month, or December. Even the next year, you could have January of 2025. You could have even the year out sometimes of January 2026. So by doing those leaps, the second tip is you can figure out a time. Maybe you think things will get better or get worse. Now, the third tip is understanding that you can be in a way of feeling more confident about yourself. One of the things I've learned as a trader is I can feel whatever the markets are doing, whatever the economy is doing, whether good or bad, I have a defensive mechanism to protect myself, to always stay strategically caring about the longevity of my business, of my country, of my world. And by having that, it's sort of like a feather in your cap. So by doing that and understanding it and learning, you're building up. The fourth tip is to say to yourself, you want to understand more. And I look at people that are novices or even people that are experienced. It's about learning every single day. So if you say to yourself, how do I pick up the knowledge? Maybe you look at things like I do Yahoo Stock Gainers and see the stocks that went up the most. I do a thing where I look at CNBC, even Bloomberg, and I see what CBS Market Watch, even things like other Benzinga is quite great. Wall Street Bets has different information ideas at times too. So by learning about stuff, you're really getting a better knowledge. And the fifth tip is being worldly. I've always loved to read. In fact, I've written top psychology books. I've shared about learning about all countries. So I often read the South China Morning Post. I read the Sydney Morning Herald. I read the Daily Mail. I read the New York Post, New York Times. Let's read the Drudge Report. I watch World News. And by learning even news in Israel, sometimes in Iran, Dubai, by learning about all these different countries, I start to get, even I read sometimes the Indian newspaper and Russian newspaper, I get a feel for what's happening all over the world. Because sometimes when trends are developing or profits or failures or different things, the global sentiment of articles can give you an edge. And by having that edge, you might be able to trade better and be able to really understand. So I want to share those 5 tips with you now. That's very nice of you here. Second thing, before I leave you today, because I wanted to make this brief because I know you might have other things. I know people like short, one of the things about my trainings is I do 5 to 15 minute intervals so you can really learn and absorb the information. I meet with my clients on Skype or other video platforms. But getting yourself to be strong, being able to build up your mind, your acumen, your muscles, your energy, and to say by having the trading, you can learn. And that's one of the best gifts I've had is developing tenacity, developing strength, and building confidence that things can go right at the right times. So I want to thank you for being here. My assistant's probably going to send you out an email. If you signed up, you got access to this. Anybody that bought the Eventbrite ticket officially, if you happen to see it without that, that's fine. Wishing you well. But if you bought the Eventbrite ticket for free, you'll get VIP access to the 1 week coaching. We're doing 100 points. The good news too is it was $9,999, but I'm going to offer discounts because I'm thinking about offering this to more people. I had a team meeting with my team and also did some Y Combinator startup school work, and I said I'm going to open this up where I'll give this training free, and then all the people, I'll get your emails, I'll offer you something where you can have the VIP access to the lower price. Wishing you well, give you a high five, and think about all the abundance that's possible. In fact, that's one of the reasons I went into markets. There's no limit in how much someone can make. There's actually, I used to do casinos and actually won quite often when I was young. But in terms of the stock market, there's no limit in terms of what could be made. Even if you're doing 401k, that's wonderful. Maybe you have a small amount that you have more risk. I wish you well. Thanks for watching. I'm Blake LeVine, the CEO of Stocks. And please do look if you signed up for a ticket for an email from one of my team members who are going to offer you that VIP lowered price for the 1 week training where you get the tutor and mentor directly with me. You're meeting the real guy. So I do the trainings myself, and you guys have a great day, night, or weekend. I think about that too. Could be people all over the world watching. So wherever you are, thanks for going. It's free Eventbrite. It's been wonderful to speak to you. Love everybody on Eventbrite. Thanks for getting the ticket. And now you have the VIP access. If your ticket, you signed up with your email, you'll get more information. I hope to work with you soon.